Dryside, how many merinos you got at the minute?
15.
15. Ooh, wait a minute, let
What
me
have you
get.
got?
I got 16, mate. 16 headliners at the minute, merinos.
Hold on. No, no, hold on. We've got 17.
You got 17. Oh, dude, sorry,
Yeah, no, I've got 17.
I've just managed to get me another one. Sorry, I'm on two. I'm on 18 now, mate.
Offer.
Should we get into podcast?
Let's go.
Let's go.
Liftoff and the clock has started.
Roger, zero G, and I feel fine.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Two Old Futs with myself, Chufters, and the man that is Dryside.
Well, hello. We're back again.
How are we, Dryside?
I'm well rested. I had a nice spa day yesterday. I started off weekend league on Saturday, followed by the spa yesterday. So I am relaxed and ready to go for another week. More so for the podcast than anything else.
I am so jealous of your spa night away. I love being in a nice hotel with a nice spa, sitting my backside in hot water or a hot room. It's just heaven. Um,
Yeah, it was awesome. And no FIFA, no thought of weekend league, no stress of weekend league. The only stress was trying to get up from the bed or the jacuzzi to get my next beer. That was the only stress I had.
Oh, the life. Mind you, we went away to visit some friends in Essex. I had like a 4 hour drive Saturday and a 4 hour drive back on Sunday. And that was quite a nice break just to get away from FIFA and I didn't play a game of FIFA for like a whole day, which was quite refreshing. And it was quite nice. It's a nice break because
Imagine,
I've,
imagine.
it's bad, isn't it? And a day, I've done one day without playing a game of FIFA, but it was quite nice. And I was refreshed when I came back to finish off Weekend League on Sunday.
Yeah, it was good to have time away, but we're back. And that's the most important thing.
It is. Oh, did you play Weekend League?
I did play weekend league. I thought I'd enter it, knowing that it was going away, so I wasn't that fussed on finishing it. Although I did download Remote Play, PS4 Remote Play, if anybody does it on their iPads or phones, which you can play with the PlayStation controller, which I didn't know until the weekend. I took my PS4 controller with me with my iPad going to the hotel. Was told that I shouldn't be playing it, that could potentially be things coming to an end if I did, and
Yeah,
it
I can
didn't work.
imagine. I can
So
understand why you a spa hotel with the girlfriend and you whack out the iPad. She's like, okay, just in case we need to look for direction. Then you whack out your PS4 controller, and she's like, "What the are you doing?"
because she actually turned up, picking me up, like, why are you packing your PlayStation? No, no, I'm not. It's just the controller. Well, but no, but your controller's part of the PlayStation? No, 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 it's just the controller. Don't worry about it. It's only the controller. I'm just bringing the controller. Didn't have a clue. My controller. It works on the iPad. No, you're not playing the iPad. Like, I know, but it's only FIFA on the iPad, so it's not the same thing. No, you're not playing the iPad, and you're not playing PS4 when we're going for a relaxing spa break. I know, but it's work, so technically we're not really away for a relaxing break. It's still work.
Yeah, and you
Anyway,
might
that went
sleep.
on. So,
If you're
yeah,
asleep, then I can play it. Yeah, I get it. I always take my laptop everywhere I go, even if we're going somewhere. But you're not going to get time to go on your laptop. I'm like, yeah, I just take it because there's always time. There's always time to
yeah.
go on and see what content's going on or whatever.
Women get showered, women do makeup, women dry their hair. That's at least 30 minutes. You could possibly get two games in for that.
That's it. When you got
Not
weekend
like,
league, you got to squeeze those games in. You got to grind out those 20 minutes of like, have I got time? I do that all the time. So for anyone who's a parent like us, we've been there with a like it might be like right, bath time starts in 20 minutes. I've got to turn on the PlayStation. I have to find a game, play the game, and get off before it hits 6:30.
yeah.
Otherwise, I know I'm going to get asked, "Oh, it's not bedtime." And I'll be like, yeah, in a minute." And if it goes to extra time, I'm just going to take the L. I just haven't got time for it to get extra time. It always is those games where you're rushed and you're
Yeah.
like, "I've got to squeeze it in." Whether you've got work, kids, whatever it is, that game, you're like, "Please don't get extra time, so I've not got time to finish it." It's like the 89th minute, and you're like, "Oh, just stop drawing, just stop it."
I've even mastered cooking sausages to the timing of a FIFA game
That's good.
perfectly.
That's a good shout.
The,
Yeah,
the,
running out of half time to
sausages,
turn them.
yeah, perfectly. See half time, run in, quick turn. After the match, done perfectly. Do not let it go the extra time though, because you're going to get cremated sausages.
So you have to take
Dinner
an L.
ruined.
Just take an L. So
Yeah.
where did you finish in weekend league?
Where did? Oh, I don't even want to talk about it.
It's gonna be terrible, isn't it? Go on, tell us the
I
numbers.
only, I
Tell me
only,
the
I only,
digits.
I only played.
I don't want to hear this. How this? I
four-
only played. Just give me the raw data. Give me the numbers. How many wins? How many losses?
4 and 3.
4 and 3. That, to be fair though, it's so that's that stage at the start of a weekend league. And this is for anyone. Like no matter what you start, because the matchmaking is not refined at that stage. I believe you can play anybody because it doesn't kick
Yeah,
in until you've
yeah, you
played
can.
10 games. Like you can play the best players or the worst players. So whether you go, as long as you don't ruin whatever you're going for, like if you go in the first 10 games, you go 2 and 8. Okay, elite's not going to happen. But as long as you do that, honestly, you can come back because, well, I had a bad
I
start.
wasn't really disappointed, but the funny thing was, it wasn't that I didn't have time because I had time on Saturday to play, and that wasn't it. It was for me, and I hate these excuses, and I'm not going to fall into the trap of blaming excuses, but for me, at the time I was playing at the weekend on Saturday, was it Saturday afternoon? Because I had football with the kids on Saturday morning. It was the gameplay was I even tweeted about it. It was a
strongly
replica of
worded
the
tweet.
FA Cup matches. Yeah, a strongly worded tweet to EA Sports about how well they'd replicated the FA Cup matches this week by mirroring it on FIFA that they were playing on muddy pitches because it was just like running on mud, and the responsiveness was like. And I've got a brand new controller, and I was literally hitting X, hitting circle, and it was like 2-3 second delay.
I had the
Um,
same on Friday for a few games. It was awful.
It was hard. So I thought, rather than getting annoyed, rather than getting stressed out, you know what? Just end it there. Because I knew I wasn't going to play it on Sunday anyway. So I thought, you know what? I'm up 4-3. I've it's a personal best. No, it's not a personal best.
But you know what the worst
Um,
thing of it all of this is for you? You have to re-qualify for the next weekend league.
I
You
know
want to play.
that's a brutal bit. When I turned it on tonight and looked, I thought, oh, 256 points out of 2,000. That's a lot of rival
And
matches.
you're down in like Division 8, aren't you? Aren't you still there? Because they didn't have you got your way
no,
back
I'm
up
Div
now?
12.
To 12.
Div
What?
12.
That's a lot of points down there, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I'm Div 7. So to get back up again to that, you've got to A, get up the divisions, B, go through the sweatiness of every division for people going down, doing objectives, and then also try and grind out the wins to try and get the points itself. So, it's going to be a struggle, but I'll be a stronger person for it, I'll be honest.
Are you going to play weekend league this weekend? Come on, I think everyone wants Dryside to play a proper weekend league. Tell
Yeah,
your
I think
girlfriend you're
I'll,
ill. Say you caught flu off me because I feel awful today. Everyone, I've been in bed all day. I'm aching all over. I feel awful. So just tell your girlfriend you've caught. I haven't got flu. No, I've got flu-y, but I'm not. It's not proper flu. But I feel awful. Just
to
say you caught it
confirm
for me from the podcast.
encourage anybody listening that although Chuff did say he was in bed all day and has got the flu, and I might have caught it off him, I was not in bed with Chuff. So,
Well,
just to confirm, that's
just in
not
your
the
dreams.
case.
Just in your dreams. So let's get back onto topic.
Like, get on track.
What-
We digress.
So you're going to try and play weekend league this weekend and go for it.
Yes, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go. I'm the people's champion.
What's the team got in store? What have you made any new changes ready for it or anything? Any new players you can tell
Yeah,
us
some
about?
changes. I was getting a bit frustrated with my last team. I went through a bit of a stage, and I had a lot of coins in the bank. I thought, you know what, I'm gonna start buying people. So I went for back line, still the same. Still got Ter Stegen, Rosalind, Ferdinand Icon, PK, Zambrota. But I made some changes in the midfield. Brought in Kimmich, 87 in form, solid
Ugh.
as a rock.
Work
They're always
rate,
good.
low defensive work rate on a seat. For me, it's a big no-no. But
He just sits and does the job for me. And then I brought in two of the big differences that made in my team. That probably did get me my wins that I got, and I've been actually doing really well in rivals outside of weekend league. But Lewa 92 Lewandowski,
yep.
who is a finisher, and we'll talk about that in the patch, about how that's changed him. And then something that we're obviously going to discuss in more detail, but the Werner headliner card. What a card!
It's nice.
Do you invest in it?
Let's guys, we're going to talk actually, and I should have said this at the beginning. I'm sorry. We had technical issues before recording the podcast. We were trying to record. It's been literally just would not work for ages. So we're a bit off our game. But just to tell you guys what we got in store today, okay, just as an overview, just we'll back up a little bit. With the normal catch up and intro, what we like to do, and just kind of catch up on where we are, so you know what's going on with us. Then we'll talk about content. Well, and in there we'll talk about some trading mishaps maybe, and then we're going to talk through content reviews. We want to talk about headliners. You know, the rate it, the quick fire, good, bad, rate it. Future stars coming this week. Talk about the milestone stuff. Then we want to go on and talk about the patch with you guys and questions from you guys. And then we will obviously close out with a look at the week ahead, which really is future stars. So back in, any other additions in the team apart from headliner Werner, which is a sore subject?
No, we've got Werner. It's just probably standard from doing the objectives, which was the likes of the Alessandro Playa.
Yeah.
Playa, is it?
Yeah.
I had him before.
Playa.
Playa. He's a player. Good player. So, get it?
That's awful.
Didn't mean that. He was good. Also brought into the team from doing the objectives was finished season Philippe Anderson. I chose him, which he's been good. I like him. Good super sub. And then probably the people have mixed opinions on this guy, Orsic. Have you got him yet?
I've not got him yet. I'm going to do him tomorrow because I think he's for a free card. He's a must do because he's a pacey super sub, right?
Beast. So 96 pace, 90 shot. You can bring him on anywhere and he'll do a job for you. I brought him on the last, this was in Rivals just, last 10, 15 minutes of games. And every match he's come on, he scored in every game.
Yeah, I think that pace is so key towards the end of the game because you forget how fatigued players get. And if you can exploit the space wide with these pacey players, then it can just destroy teams. And like Adama Traore destroyed me a few times this week as well, this weekend league.
Definitely. So that's my addition. So what's your new additions?
Oh, well, what's not been going on?
How'd you finish?
How'd I finish what? Weekend league? Let me talk about how I started. So, the weekend league for me, I started off pretty badly again. I had 3 losses, which every game, and I'm not normally one. I'm normally one of like, it's my gameplay, it's my fault. But these 3 games were just like bonkers. I was out shooting. I think like they would have like 3 shots on target. I'd have about 10, 12. I'd be dominating possession. Their keeper was just absolutely, I don't know what he was on, but it definitely isn't allowed in the game. It's just ridiculous. And I lost those games. It was a bit frustrating. But then I think I was at 8-4. I think I was 8-4 at one point. And then I went on a bit of a run because I just kind of relaxed. I was just like, meh. I was just playing, singing along to songs on stream and flicking up, just having good fun. And I went on a massive run. I think then I went a big run. And I was 22-6 with 2 games to go. And that's when the pressure kind of hit in a little bit and my composure started to go. The 29th game was ridiculous. Played somebody that they were all over me in the first half. And they had 3 chances and scored, and it was all quick fire. And it was like me, I wasn't on it. And then the second half, it was the other way around. I was all over them, but I just could not put it. I had chance after chance after chance. I could not. I pulled one back, and then they were just playing drop back and countering. But they were a good player. But it's just that initial thing that annoyed me. And then the last game went to penalties, of which I lost. But Neymar, so I've bought headliner Neymar. I'll talk about the team in a sec. But Neymar missed not a sitter. It was outside the box. The keeper was out, and he was facing away from goal, and it just went wide. But what cost me? I'll tell you what cost me Elite this week. I don't know if any of you guys listening have the same problem. I've noticed it more and more recently. It happened probably in about 8 games this weekend to me, maybe 10 games. So I start in a 4-3-3. And I start with, so I've got Maradona and Neymar in my midfield, along with, I can't think of the other person is in midfield. Aria, because I've done Aria from the season objectives. So those 3 would be in my midfield. But what's happening is when I change my game plan straight away, So I select the new game plan, of which obviously moves to a 4-4-2. It doesn't change. It doesn't actually. And what should happen is a few seconds later, they move into the right positions. But what I'm getting is they don't move until it goes off, until it goes out. So, and I'm always torn to decide, and when that happens, do I just kick it out and lose possession for the sake of getting my players in the right position, or do I just play it out? And this last game, it caught me out a few times. It was really was winding me up actually, because it's just really annoying. And in this game, so that happened. I didn't kick it out because I didn't actually get much of a chance, to be fair. And then I was defending, and obviously the two guys, to tackle players was Neymar and Maradona. And they were trying to tackle this guy's strikers. I think he had like red 92 Mbappe or something. And obviously they're not going to be able to tackle him. And they just glided through, and I conceded a goal. And that is ultimately why I didn't win the game. We drew and went to extra time and stuff. And it was mighty frustrating. But yeah, that's my weekend league summary. I wasn't that bothered. It's only a game at the end of the day. We'll be back. I played nice FIFA. I was happy with how I played, and could have easily, I was unlucky actually. I was quite unlucky. But the new additions. So I messed up the team. I sold Van Dijk. I sold 94 De Bruyne as well, because I was like, you know what? I don't want to tie so many coins up. I keep saying Van Dijk's going to drop at some point, because he will, as his base card. He will. He will start dropping, and I think it's got to be soon, really, in February. It's going to have to be. But so I sold him and De Bruyne because I was on the mission to save up for Team of the Year. Mbappe, I had 2 million. I'd done some trading and got up to like 2.5, and I was like, yeah, let's sell these guys. And then all of a sudden, I've talked about this for days and days, and then I was like, actually, what about Neymar? Headliner Neymar. And everyone was like, yeah, headliner Neymar, blah, blah, blah. And then it turned all about headliner Neymar. And also because they were about to drop out of packs, this was Friday daytime, it was also, right, well, I need to get him before he drops out of packs. He's currently about 4.1 million. And if I don't get him before he goes out of packs, there's a good chance he's going to go up. So then I'm like trying to sell all my investments in my club, madly trying to sell everything. And I sold lots of stuff like Merinos that I reinvested in, actually, funny enough, at profit, but not a huge profit, and a lot of stuff because I was like, I just need him, I want to get him. And I was sat with about 3.6, just over 3.6 million. And I was just looking at Neymar's, because there was one or two other guys in the stream who wanted to buy Neymar, and we were just looking at prices. I was like, yeah, and somebody came on the stream, they're like, you're not going to get him for 3.6. Like, you're not going to get that much off, like 500k off. Like, and I said, I'm not really trying, I'm just looking to see what kind of prices are popping up. And then out of the blue, one popped up for 3.6 million. I was like, what? I was like, boom. So I took it. So it's about like 400-500k under market, which is fantastic. Brilliant, because I literally, if I'd done that 2 minutes earlier, I wouldn't have had enough money to buy him. It was only the last couple of Merinos. And he was great. I really like him. He's a fantastic card, and I think he's a good investment. Team of the Year Mbappe is probably not going to go up. And I couldn't afford him right away. Yeah. And headliner Neymar should go up. He's already up now to 4.6, because obviously, even though I don't think he will get an inform, I think EA, even though it's only a second inform, I don't think they'll give it to him with 2 goals. I would love them to, but I just have a feeling they won't, just because obviously headliners just come. I don't know. I just feel that if I didn't own the card, he'd get it. As I do own the card, I'm pretty sure he won't get it. But yeah, that's my weekend league. And also I played on Friday. I played 19 games in the day, 20 games, 18 games,
A lot of games.
and then 12 games Sunday night. I was kind of preparing. So anyone who doesn't know, I'm doing a charity stream next week. Well, this week, sorry. So Saturday, the 1st of February, 8 a.m. UK time on my Twitch channel, Chuffsters. I'm doing a charity stream playing 90 games of Weekend League in one stream. So it'll probably be about 36-hour stream. Just going to start 8 a.m. and keep going right through until we finish them all. So I thought I'd give myself a little bit of practice, timing-wise, to see how long it might take. And yeah, it's going to be interesting. It all depends on rage quits. If you're playing well, this is what I found this week. When I was playing well and I went on that like 10, 11 game run, I was getting loads of rage quits. I mean, last night, I started off 14-5, 13-5. I got 5 rage quits in a row because I was just playing really well and people were quitting.
Yeah.
If you get that, and obviously it's a Sunday, which can help. But if you get that, if you play, the better you play, the more likely people are to rage quit, meaning the quicker you can do it. The worse you play, and I'm restricted of how many rage quits I can have. I think I'm allowed like 3 or 4 per account, because I'm doing it on 3 different accounts. So I can't just rage quit if I've had enough. So it's going to be real down to how I play on that week. But yeah, so that was a bit of a tester there. But no, I was happy. I was happy this weekend. You know, I missed out on Elite, but c'est la vie.
Yeah, it's one of those things. You got to keep on going. Go back to the point where they're making changes. You're right. You're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. When you're making a sub, when you make those tactical changes, because if you kick it out straight away, and the other player takes a throw in or whatever it might be, foul or whatever, and scores, you kick yourself. If you don't kick it out and you concede, you kick yourself. So
Yeah, or you break forward. Yeah, you break forward in attack with one of your defensive midfielders. And you're like, oh, and you're there. It used to be worse when I had Keane. Like now I'm playing with, at the end of the weekend league, I was doing Aria, the objective card, and Kante team of the year. Now both of those guys can shoot, so it's fine. But sometimes it's happened with Roy Keane. You're running through on goal with Roy Keane. Now let me tell you one thing, he's not got the best finishing in the game.
Yeah.
And it's really frustrating when you're like, ah. But that's it. And the other thing, I'll tell you, the other players I use. So Aria from the Aria, however you pronounce it, I've probably ruined it. You've gone with Anderson, really like him. I've gone with Aria and really like him. He feels fantastic. He just feels like he's replaced 94 KDB. And to be fair, I don't miss KDB at all. And
No, same.
so I think if you're just trying to decide which one to take, because I know you've got a few days left before the season runs out, and obviously we're going to get new icon swaps and everything. I don't think it really matters. I think they're both great cards, and however you want to use them.
I think it's personal preference.
Exactly, they're both great cards. So I just don't worry about it. I think they're both very usable cards at the minute. Actually, like I'm amazed, not amazed, but I'm surprised actually how many people will be using Aria as a first team player, because we can sell a player we've got who's tradable and have coins. And it comes down to that, doesn't it? Do I want 1 million coins for extra for a KDB that's probably only going to drop? Or do I sell him and use this free card, which is actually pretty insane?
Yeah, I think the reason why I went with Anderson is for an 87 card in the Premiership, you're fairly restricted for left midfield. You've only really got Mane, Sterling, and Son, right? It sounds about right, doesn't it?
Top
The
tier,
real kind of
top tier. Yeah, you've got Info
above
and
87,
Son.
yeah.
Above 87, I think. I think that probably is about right. Yeah, Martial's an 85. I think he's a striker. That one. I think above 87. I think there's only 3.
So there's not much choice. If you run the Premiership team, Philip Anderson is actually a great choice. 4-star, work rate, high medium, 92 pace, 91 dribbling. We all know that dribbling in the game is insane now, because if you played the that game, what do you call that mode, where you get like the dribbling, shooting, massive stats. Can't remember the name of it. But anyway, so when you
Volta.
dribble it actually, no, not Volta. What do you call it? You play friendlies. This is the old man coming in.
Oh,
again, I can't
mystery
remember the name of
ball,
things.
mystery ball.
Ball.
Yeah.
So if you get like the dribble, it actually makes it look like the player's going like lightning.
yeah.
And with his dribbling so high, that's exactly the way he is. He looks like he's like a 99 pace. So, but that's the way I find it, and it's only really works if, well, I wouldn't maybe say that on weekend league, because the gameplay might affect it, but definitely on like other modes, it's you can really see the difference in pace with them. So yeah, but personal preference. But I think Philip Anderson is a great player.
And the other two players that I used this weekend, as I said, I got rid of Van Dijk and everyone. I was kind of makeshifting my team. I was playing lots of players on 8 chem. I even started JJ Okocha just to get kept on Neymar and Lala. And then
JJ makes a return.
Yeah, he made a return, mate, and he was crap. But I kept him on for like 20, 30 minutes, and then I'd take him off for silver. I started, so Delict was playing 8 chem, and then I used Tomiyasu, 85 rated Tomiyasu for about 10, 15 games. You know, he was.
Talk about. He's good. I like him.
He's really good. I was playing him centre back because his stamina is not good enough as a CDM. I know a lot of people have said about playing him as CDM, but for me, his stamina is not good enough. And also, if he ever gets near goal, he's so bad. His long shots are 36, and his shots power's 55, and finishing 40. So, like, I often, because I play a 4-4-2, my midfield, I don't really have a CDM. I use two kind of like, you know, I need someone who can actually have a shot if I need them to. But
and that's funny, because he's the opposite to me. I play a 4-4-2 with 2 CDMs, and I bring him on with maybe 20, 25 minutes.
You bring him on, okay.
Bring him on, and he's actually, mainly because he's got the 5-star weak foot, his passing, his pace, his strength, he's tall. And for somebody who's only got, 45 shooting? He's actually scored a couple of goals for me.
40 finishing, yeah. 40 finishing is...
Yeah, which is strange. But he does the job. And I wouldn't. He's not the kind of player. He's never going to start in my team. But if you want somebody who's going to come in, do a job, kill the game off, yeah, he's good.
What do you mean? Yeah, he's never going to start. He started in my team like for half this weekend. The other half was
there you
Shoji.
go. That just shows you he's never going to start in my team.
Honestly, though, I just decided to use these guys because they're OP for an 85. They're pretty decent. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to try these guys. And I went with Tomiyasu first. And I think I had a shadow on him, which gets him up to 90. He was only on 8 chem because... so he gets his pace up to 91 overall, and he's got what Tomiyasu has is that 94. Well, his acceleration with the shadow, his base acceleration is 83. So if you put shadow on him, full chem, it's 98 acceleration. And I only had 8 chem with the shadow. He was crazy good. The only reason I then went away from Tomiyasu to Shoji is because Neymar came into the team, and I needed the link to Neymar to a French league player. So I went with Shoji instead rather than buying somebody. And again, I actually had an anchor on him with 8 chem because I didn't have any shadows in the club, and I don't know, I just didn't go and buy one. And it was great. I mean, he was really...
This is the thing. Don't be fooled. Anybody that plays the game, don't be fooled by thinking an 85 Tomiyasu is the same as an 85 standard gold card. They're not. There's something different about them. There's like, I don't know, a bit of magic about them.
He felt great. His positioning was a little bit off at times, but the more I got used to playing with him, the more I didn't many times. There was not one time in the weekend league where I said, "Oh, come on, Tomiyasu or Shoji, where's Van Dijk? Come on, Van Dijk would have done that." There wasn't one of those times, and that showed me that they're not bad. I wish if I could get both of those guys in my team right now. Actually, no, I'd keep De Ligt because Team De Ligt is crazy good. But if I can get one of those in with 8 chem, I'm probably going to keep them until I get enough money and spend money on the attacking part of the team.
Do you not find though, and this is the whole psychology of it all, do you not find when you have players like Tomiyasu and other players that come as part of an objective that you tend to try a bit too hard with them? You want them to be better than what they are? I do.
If it's an attacking player, yes. I do that with every attacking player that comes into the team. But with a defensive one, no, I think... I don't do that with the defensive ones. I just kind of, I don't know. These guys just slotted in. I was just really happy with them. Both cards have got their like real positives and a couple of negatives, or if you're comparing them against each other. But guys, if you've got them in your team, like I'm one of these people. I don't know if you're the same, Dry said, where I would rather take money out of my defense and pump it into the attack. Right, sexy football.
100%.
And if you've got these guys sat in your club, there's so many good cards that are free this year. Like another card that I really like is Futmas Mendes, Thiago Mendes. I've played with that card for objectives. He feels fantastic for an 84 rated. I would nearly put him in my team this weekend actually to get the strong link with Neymar and stuff. But like, there's so many cards you can try out. It's well worth trying them out and almost put them in and just forget you put them in. Don't focus on them too much. And you'll be surprised. Some of you might be like, you know what? I've just saved myself a lot of coin because most of the players we have now that are tradable, they will start to drop like your normal, they should start to drop with just the cycle of the game. So
and we've always said that. We've always said that, and we talk about this quite a lot, but like my whole back line is untradeable with Rosalind, Ferdinand, who 900,000 coin player, 800, whatever. Like he's average about 850. PK and Zambrota. It just means you can just concentrate more on the players who are actually going to make a difference to the game. Your front line will always influence the game more than your back line. You can always get an average back line. I don't want to talk about a player that I heard you on stream the other day complaining about, but was there a bit of a Lala again?
Oh, Lala. Nah, he turned it around for me. So I've got Lala in the team now. Yeah, he when I first, so I did Moments Lala and I started using him on full chem. This is interesting actually. I started using him and he was on full chem and I really didn't like him. He was clunky. He felt like I'd put a centre back out wide. Just didn't feel right. And didn't feel that quick, even though with a shadow, he's 99 pace and everything. I was really kind of like gutted. And then funny enough, when I changed the team round, when I got Neymar and I've got him in there now, he's only on 8 chem. He feels a lot better. Mental, I know. It's all psychological, but he feels a lot better. So the other thing is make sure you play more than one game with players because every player is different. They have different animations, different feel. Their stats equate to different things on the pitch, as well as their like physical, like their size and things. and I really like him now. I've got used to him a little bit more, but it's yeah,
And don't always compare your players to what they were last year, because let's be honest, last year was completely OP. He had so many informed cards, he was outstanding, but didn't mean this year's what was it? Was it a flashback? Was it a flashback?
it was a moments card, yeah, moments.
Moments card, sorry, moments card. You know, it may be a hit or miss card. You don't know. Plus, your team may have changed this year. You may have got better forward players. You know, the change of tactics, the change of meta formations. It's a range of things, but yeah, not for me. I didn't do it.
It is, yeah. I'm glad I did it. I am glad I did it because he'll stay now. Because I am either going to keep, I'm going to keep Neymar. I am going to keep Neymar, but when I see a 4.6 million, there's part of me which is like, I can get Team the Messi for that. I can do all these things, but I like the 5-star, especially playing him up front in a 4-4-2. So I'm going to keep the team now. I'm just trying to build out. I say I've got, I'm probably up to about, I don't know, like 700k to try and improve the team with rewards, obviously Thursday, to try and improve for this weekend. Obviously, this weekend with the charity thing's going to be a little bit different. I don't know what I'm going to go for. I'll be happy if I get gold 2 for each one, to be fair. I'll be happy with that. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But should we move on and talk about some of the content?
Yeah, let's go. Did we get a new patch since we last spoke?
Or should we do content and patch? Should we do a quick? Well, I don't think we need to
Yeah,
spend.
let's go content.
Let's talk content, guys. So we've had headliners, Team 2. I don't think we need to spend. You guys are probably all a little bit done with headliners, I think, now in a way, just because it's died off. It's Monday. Obviously, we don't get anything Sunday. We didn't get anything today, apart from the German milestone player. Team 2. What do you think, Dryside? What's Team 2 like for you?
To be fair to EA, I know we said about it last week in last week's show that usually the second team or the second stage of a promo has been quite poor in comparison to the first one because they've released the good stuff too early. But in their defense, and the headliners actually hasn't been that bad. And there's been some that I wouldn't maybe say, but you've got the likes of Royce, you've got Aubameyang, Sterling.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? Because
Thiago Silva.
Aubameyang's in forms he got.
Players.
Aubameyang got so many informs. It was a dead cert he was going to get in, wasn't it?
So in actual fact, they've produced the second team. I actually like it.
No, I'm just laughing because Aubameyang didn't get an inform. So I don't know how he's a headliner considering their criteria is meant to be players that got an inform card.
Yeah, that's a bit of a false one. What did he get? What did he get in for? Player of the month?
He got Player of the Month. Yeah, it must be, but it's very strange.
It has to be.
It is a very strange one, and it's a weird. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, the cards are alright. The cards are alright.
And as soon as they come up, I thought to myself, and we'll talk about this in a bit more detail. So I thought when the cards come out, I'm running a German team, well, half German team and hybrid team. I thought Werner was toying between the idea of doing Werner Player of the Month, and I thought I'll hold out and see if he gets a headliner card. Lo and behold, he got a headliner card, and I thought, right, for that price, I could get him. I ended up sniping him for, what did I say, 460? I think I got him for, and his Player of the Month card is 370. So I thought for the extra 100k, it can be tradable. Plus, it can go up, taking 2 informs to get to the same level as that. So I done that, and then any Scottish listeners and Craig Sims, you'll know this. There's a popular saying in Scotland: you can't see green cheese go past you. And what that basically means is that there's another person out there that has to have whatever you have, just for the sake of it. Now, from somebody's nervous laugh, I know what they done because they admitted to it whenever I said I'd got Werner. And what did the other person go and do? He was out all day. I said I got Werner. He's playing Frankfurt. He's going to have an absolute smasher. The Frankfurt are sitting nearly bottom of the league. And what did you do, Chuff?
Well, let me. So I nearly bought. I looked at Werner, and this was on Saturday night, and I was like, I don't normally dabble in live cards because there's one reason I don't. It's because I never stay track of the games, and if I'm not streaming, I'm staying away from everything. or I'm out with family and that, so I don't get the chance to keep on track. And the one thing you're guaranteed with these cards is if you are not there to buy and sell during the game, you're probably going to lose coins. But anyway, so I thought about it the other night, and I was like, oh, do I buy that guy? Do I buy, who was it? The Werner was one. There was another card I looked at. I can't think who it was. Was it
Terry
Semedo?
Silva.
No, Semedo? I can't remember. But I looked at a couple, and anyway, then when Dryside messaged and he was like, yeah, pick one up, I was just like, I was out. It was on Saturday, wasn't it? I was out. I was at my friends in Essex and didn't have much time to check the phone. I was like, Dryside got one. I was like, you know what? Because Dryside made a killing on some Lukaku's where he picked up loads of Lukaku's and he banged in like 2 goals and Dryside killed it. And I was just like, I just had a feeling. I was like, something tells me that Dryside's going to be. I got FOMO. I was like, if he messages me later going, hat-trick Werner, thank you very much, I doubled my money, I'd literally be like, you absolute. So I thought, no, I'm going to buy one. And then I was like, right. So I put a few bids and people are like, you're on your phone, you're right. And I'm like, yeah, 2 secs. And they're like, you're right. And I'm like, yeah, I just need a toilet. So I was in the toilet. I was like, right, I need to buy one of these. And it's literally kickoff. And I put a few bids on and they weren't working. And then in the end, I was just like, I got one for like, I don't know, like 492 or something. And then afterwards, I was like, this ride on him scoring. If he doesn't score, I'm losing coins. Yeah, and honestly, their game, if you look at the stats, the game between Frankfurt and Leipzig was literally like a game of weekend league. Leipzig were all over them, couldn't score, and 100%. Frankfurt banged in and won 2-0. Werner plummeted. I nearly sold him at 468 when he was dropping after like in the game, but because I was busy, I didn't. Right, because I was distracted. Someone was like, oh, and I was like, yeah, no worries. I didn't sell him, and I didn't look at my phone then until later, and he was down at like 425 or something like that, and I was just like, oh, and then I sold him. Oh, what did I sell him for in the end? I sold him the following day, yesterday, for like, I don't know, like 435, 440. The only reason I did that is because I didn't have any money, any coins, and I knew that I wanted to be able to trade around squad back rewards because I could make that money back, but make the coins back. So I did sell him. Otherwise, I would have held him. But I did sell him, so I was gutted. But the fear of missing out, the FOMO got me badly because there's nothing. Having a mate message you going, thank you very much, especially after the Marinos. Yeah, we made money on the Marinos, but it wasn't big bucks or anything. No, I just couldn't deal with it, so I had to have one. I had to be part of that. Oh, it was painful.
It was just. I've kept him because he's part of my team, but he will come back up again. But it was just funny that we've got this curse, like the curse you see on was it the guy Drake, in Real Football?
Oh, the Drake curse, yeah.
He's getting a picture taken with a football, and then they have an absolute stinker. Is when me and Chuff buy a player, especially a live card on FIFA, you know not to go near because that person will go into the depths of despair. I think as a player,
we had another one. There was another one, Jamie Vardy. We both picked up
massive hit on Vardy.
I luckily didn't, but I still took a hit. I still took like 20,000 coins, but I can't remember the deal where both of us hyped each other up into buying some Jamie Vardys. Didn't he miss a penalty or something?
He did. He missed a penalty. Yep.
And
I sold one when he missed a penalty, and then I held off, thinking he's bound to do something, and then didn't he get injured after that? He get stretchered off.
I think he got stretchered off. Yeah. Yeah, he did
something like that. The hamstring injury. That's right, and he's going to be out. And as soon as it went out that he's going to be out for X amount of weeks, his price just plummeted. I just thought, well, what have I done? Moreno. We'll laugh about Moreno because we bought so many of them, and Moreno's went up and down by 2-3k, and that's fine. Well, I always buy more than Chuff anyway, so.
I bought another batch. I double dipped into Moreno. So after he got rid of the last lot on the last podcast, before they went out when was it? On Thursday in rewards when they were still in packs. I went and bought a load more for 24, 25k. I bought about 15, 20 of them. And even though I was rush selling them on Friday to try and get Neymar in, which, by the way, I could have held them and maybe sold them for 31 or 32 now, but I sold them all for 30 and a half, some of them at 29 and a half just to get rid of them. If I didn't do that and get Neymar, I wouldn't have be sitting on this potential like 800k after tax profit. But Moreno's. But hey, that was profit. I was making like 4k.
That was fun. Moreno's okay, but when you start getting into the more serious stuff like the Werners for 400k or 500k almost, and you look at your tax, then the Werner or the not the Werners, the Vardys, and when you start losing money and your tax, you're thinking, oh, especially when you're running an RTG, thinking, oh, that money could have went elsewhere.
Yeah, it's very tough, and then the grind to get that coined back is quite tough. But yeah, so headline has
But
been an interesting one for us, isn't it? I think.
yeah, you win some, or lose some, but it's good fun.
Exactly, it's good fun. It's only a game at the end of the day. It is only a game. And that's actually, before we move on to talk about future stars, which we get on Friday, this is one thing I wish, and we don't bash EA. We're kind of like, it is what it is kind of thing. They make mistakes. They obviously made the mistake with Player of the Month Ben Yedder, where they put the 86 SBC, they accidentally put the requirement as an 80 rated team. And it was for a rare Electrum pack, which is like, I don't know, a 40k pack, whatever. So obviously everyone went and did it. Even if you weren't doing Ben Yedder, you could go and get like a 45k pack or whatever. I'm not sure what it exactly is, for about 7k. Right. So everyone went and did it. And EA were very, very quick to remove it, as they always are when it's something in our favour. But what bugged me is, I know they gave our players back and they put the SBC out, but they gave everyone their players back. What I would love to see is, and this is the thing of, it is only a game. That I would love them just say, you know what, guys, hands up. Oh, we made an error. Fair one. Have the player cheaper because that's our fault. We don't want to mess around with it. It's a game. In 3 months, in 5 months' time, as soon as team of the season's done, the game is done essentially, and it's the next cycle for the next game. So why do they care about that one player of the month? Why don't you just leave it as it is and be like, hey guys, make a joke of it, send a tweet saying, with a little gif, a little meme. EA have made it. Imagine if they tweeted this, EA news alert, EA have actually made a mistake, and then a little laughy face and said, guys, we're going to leave it as it is, enjoy. That would have given them so much good spirit in the community, for everyone being like, hey, they've got some sense of humour. B, they're actually leaving something in our favour for once. But instead, they kind of, and remembering it's a game.
Yeah, you're right. It's the cycle's growing so quickly, and for a player that is Ben Yedder really going to affect sales for them?
No, it's not,
because it's only an SBC. It's not going to affect packs. But if you give that to everybody, how much of a reward would that be for the people playing the game? Because now at this stage, I'm really annoyed going that people have got that pack for so cheap. And then you've seen on Twitter, of course, everybody was packing on Messi or Ronaldo from that pack going,
exactly.
So yeah, that was a bit frustrating, but another balls up by EA. But you know what? It is what it is.
Yeah, and it is just a game. Okay, so this week we have got, obviously, headliners go out of packs tomorrow, so they're kept in spirit with we only get the new promotion tomorrow. This is Monday night, so for you guys listening, Tuesday. So they got packs on Tuesday, which means we're going to get a new promo on Friday. We are very strongly thinking it's Future Stars, which I personally love, because for anyone who doesn't know, it's a opportunity where all the young players that haven't made it yet, they get massive boost to really OP cards. So it's fantastic because it's a chance to play with cards that will never get there in the game just from informs. Like, you'll get some silver players that will go from 70 rated to 88 rated. Now, like, they just couldn't get enough informs to do that otherwise. So I love that promo, and that should be Friday. Hopefully we'll get some teasers towards the end of this week.
Yeah, hopefully the whole that's what I loved about the whole headliner thing. The teasers, it really built it up, and I actually prefer the Future Stars more than the headliners, because you're going to get players that it's not about how the team play and how they play towards the end of the season, how many upgrades they might get. It's just a player that might be, an 81 card that's going to go up to an 89 straight away. It's a bang on card. It's a smasher, and it's not affected by how he plays, how his team play. It's just great cards that would never get to that stage. There's the likes of, it's so repetitive sometimes, and we covered Scream. I'm not going to go into the game, but just imagine, likes of Dele Alli as a headliner. He already had a Scream. Just think of something different. That's why I think the Future Stars is such a good promo, because it's new players that necessarily people might not even have heard of. Some players last year, I hadn't heard of Kachung. I hadn't heard of other players that ran it as well. So it's refreshing as a promo.
Gives you a new squad building option, doesn't it? Because at the minute, you're right, but the same type of players getting the same promo cards every time, then your squad building, there's no new dynamic to your squad building. You're kind of, what I mean? This gives you a new option. So you'll be like, okay, that's a usable player, And this means I can actually get this person in and go this route. It kind of changes the dynamic of how you do it. And they should all, I think, they should all be very usable cards. Like for me, and the one I'm most excited to see is got to be João Felix. Like that card, if he gets
Yep.
in,
Yep.
5-star skills, 4-star weak foot, he could get like a 92 rated. We obviously had Vinicius last year, 92 rated left winger with the best card. Could you imagine that card?
Yeah, it'd be awesome. That's one that I think that's on the sort of the tip of everybody's tongue. That one because it's such hype around the guy. You know, he's been around now for a while. He's been the next the next Ronaldo kind of coming out of Portugal.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's really anticipated to be one. There's two for me that I'd really love to see, and more two. One because of the league the team I'm running, which is Alphonso Davies.
Yeah, Bayern Munich player.
Bayern Munich.
He got one last year, didn't he?
Yeah, he's 72 now. Like if he got another one, mid to high 80s would be a great card. But one that I really look forward to, and I thought he was going to get a headliner card, and he didn't. But I think the reason why he didn't is because he's nailed on for a Future Stars card. Is Lautaro Martinez for Inter Milan?
Yeah, that'd be a very naughty card because he should have got headline, and that is he didn't. The leak said that he was going to be an SBC player, didn't they? But that hasn't materialized.
You think he's got? I think he's in the highest card he's got at the minute is an 86. So
He'll be a 90 plus.
he'd be in, it could be 90 plus, and that's a great card.
Yeah,
That
he'd
would
be a
be
meme.
that would actually make people change the Serie A thing, which actually what happened to me last year. Catrone and Calabria, last year made me switch my whole team around to a Serie A to suit them because
Yeah.
they're so good.
And that's a good thing with Future
it shows
Stars.
you.
They are those cards where they give you that new dynamic of right now
Yeah.
there's an amazing right back from the Serie A, so therefore I can build my squad like this. So no, I think it should be a good promo. Hopefully we'll get some teasers going into the week, and we'll talk about that and kind of what we think of it next week. But I think let's talk about what you mentioned just before that, which is the new patch.
The patch for me, and I hadn't played it when it first came out, but then I did play Friday and Saturday. I played Rivals, and then weekending more so Rivals because I tend to play more Rivals now. But you will have the likes of the a big pet hate of mine was the whole passing out from the goalkeeper. It was so delayed before, and then when it did happen, it was the keeper was hitting like a rocket out to the fullback. That's only if you paid possession football, if you're playing out short to the back. But it was so hard to even keep control of the ball. So that's been changed. So that's now an easy pass out, and it's a lot quicker. So that's helped me. And these are all my personal opinions. One thing I don't like, and I don't know if you've noticed it, hitting free kicks. You've got a really small time frame to hit a free kick now. Have you noticed that?
No, I've not
Is that
noticed
part of the
that.
patch?
Don't
So you hit a
think they
free kick,
changed it.
and the must have done because it's so hard to the movement in a free kick is so hard to try and gauge it, try and move it into that kind of top corner just above the bar.
They did say that they weren't gonna. So they said that they've increased the control of the cursor. I'm pretty sure this was this patch, not the last one, but they haven't. They've left it not for the corners because that's the whole point. They want it to be very, very hard to get one in the corner.
Yeah, this is the problem. So it's really hard to do it. Plus, if they've shortened the gap, if you hit a free kick, the kick happens. It's happened to me 3-4 times now. It's definitely was a part of the patch because I go to hit a free kick now and I'm trying to line it up, and I'm not talking age. I'm talking maybe 10 seconds, and I hit it straight away. So that's definitely been decreased. And then for me, I suppose a bad thing, good and a bad, and you'll agree with this, and you'll cover it a bit more. But shooting inside the box now is a lot more OP. So a lot of your shots now inside the box will be on target. I'd say 50% of your shots now from before will be on target, which also then is the negative effect where my keeper, who is Ter Stegen, is less OP because he was, I'd say, probably the best keeper in the game this year. Would you agree?
Yeah, he's pretty. His base card's really good. He is one of the top 5 keepers, but easily with all the other ones are out.
So it's then that's kind of had a roll-on effect of him making his top card or his cards being less OP if the shooting inside the box has become now a bit more overpowered. So that's my coverage on it. I know you will talk about what your thoughts are on it.
Yeah, I have to disagree on the shooting. If I'm honest, like my experience just hasn't changed. I'm still missing some, and I notice this in the weekend league games, and I'm still missing shots that really shouldn't be missed inside the box. So I couldn't say I've noticed anything crazy there. Same with the dribbling for the higher rated players. Have I noticed anything? Not majorly. The animations, yeah, I've noticed the animations makes it a bit quicker. The thing I did try, and actually I tried this today, and I didn't realize, I can't remember, I'll be honest, I can't remember what it was like before, but it's really actually quite good to try. So what they've done is they've increased the sprint speed out of strafe dribbling. So strafe dribbling is, oh wait, strafe dribbling, there's two versions. There's the one which is just L1 for PlayStation, and one is L1 and R1. But basically, when you exit that, if you exit that sprinting, you get a speed boost, and that is pretty nifty little speed boost now. You can really see it. So I was practicing that a little bit earlier just to see how I might be able to use that in a game, because I do use strafe dribbling a little bit. If I overuse it, it really impacts me negatively. If I use it just a tiny little bit, just in the right situation, I find it really useful. But that I'm going to practice a little bit more with that to try and see if that can benefit me with that sprint, especially when trying to sprint into space or whatever. I'm gonna play around with it more, because that seems pretty good. But apart from that, honestly, I don't notice that much with it. People come in the stream, they're like, oh, they've not changed this. We see it on Twitter, and it's like, oh, it's not changed anything. And a lot of it, I think, it's like hearsay of like somebody will read it, somebody will read the pitch notes, and they'll understand what's going on. And then they'll talk to somebody else and give them a run through. And let's just say they lose 10% of the detail. That person speaks to somebody else and they lose 20% more of the detail. So you've gone from full detail to 60% of detail. They talk to somebody else and they only actually give them about 15%. In that 15% of detail, all that person, the fourth one in the chain, has got is shooting's OP, dribbling's been made better. No, shooting's fixed, dribbling's fixed. And then all of a sudden that player plays like, nah, my shooting's not they're like, oh, FIFA's fixed, it's fixed. And then, other people, they hear the other things. Somebody might be like, oh, I heard that passing's fixed as well. They'd be like, no, passing's not even in this one. So I find that a lot of it, people's expectations are so built up on what they expect that when they get it, like, it's no different. But I just don't feel it that much.
You'll hear us saying that too, and I say shooting the box is more OP. That doesn't, what I mean is, I don't mean I'm scoring every time I get a chance. You also have to bear in mind as well, the player you're playing with. I play with a 92 Lewandowski who's got 99 finishing with a hunter on him, 99 shot power. He should be getting on target in the box anyway. So you might be rocking a team where you have somebody, let's say a Harry Kane, or whoever it is might be a Harry Kane, but anybody. So it's not going to be, you're not going to have the same shooting ability as maybe one of my players and vice versa. So don't always take it as a Bible that, shooting is OP now. You're going to get every shot on target. You're going to score every goal, because it's not going to happen. It's improved. Let's say it's improved by X%, but what it's saying is you've maybe more chance of getting on target. It doesn't mean you're always going to get it on target.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. The whole patch stuff. I'm gonna say this, and I say this with a loose hope that FIFA 21 might kind of, but I'm not even saying it because I know it's not going to happen. Every year we're going to have this same cycle, and I think it's because EA rush games out to the cycle. They rush it, get it to get it out instead of focusing on making sure it's like what they want, because they want to provide us the best game. They don't not want to provide us the best game. They want to give us the best game they can, but they also want to make sure they get it out as quick as possible to monetize it. And unfortunately, that's where you get caught in this thing where it's not quite complete. And I think there were some other games with EA that was it a Star Wars one? I think there's some other ones where they've kind of rushed games out, not quite finished. And they do it with FIFA every year, more and more. We get more patches now than we used to. There's more mistakes now than they used to, and it seems to be getting worse. So unfortunately, I don't think it will change. But every patch is a little bit. They fix the glitches. The game is what it is, isn't it? The glitches are the main thing that gets me more than shooting inside the box. I think when it's a glitch, like your game plan, that bugs me.
Yeah, we've talked about this loads, and if you listen to, I think it's one of the first podcasts we talked about do people want an arcade game or do people want a real life game? And there's a real split with people who play the game, and you can't please everybody. You can't have a real life game and also have an arcade game. It's impossible. It doesn't work. one thing I really want to see in probably improving the game, and I don't know your thoughts on this, Chuck, because we haven't talked about it, but it's probably the AI at this stage, more so for when you're playing an opposition defensively. It's far too strong, but in terms of defensively, you're playing the position the players. Your attack doesn't move as well as maybe as fluid as it should do. But then when you're getting attacked on, attackers move differently than what they should do. So maybe that's something maybe you need to look at a bit more.
Yeah,
I
I've
don't
been
know. What
I've
your
been
thoughts
looking
are?
at that a little bit with I get I get your point with the sometimes you feel like literally your attackers just don't move or you've got no space
Yeah,
and it's like what's going on, and I've been messing around with that a little bit with thinking about it and reviewing it after with how I've been playing, and I've figured out, and this is just for me, and I think this would run true for a lot of people as well, but I tend to, when I'm rushing and I'm not playing very well, I use the run button. Literally, I'll use the 1-2 button every pass. Literally, or the
mm-hmm.
1-2 or the run. You just do things that I don't normally do, and that's why all my players run forward. Therefore, I've got nobody to pass short to because everyone's run forward. And but when I'm playing calmly, and I do the calmly and not using every run forward on every pass, not using 1-2 on every pass, literally just passing it around my players, not instructing runs all the time on everybody, then I've got options and I get to open them up slowly. I've really noticed that when I've looked back at games. I was really bugging myself, like, why have I got no space to? Why have I got nobody to pass it to? How have they got everybody on me? But I don't think they're playing pressure. And I've looked at a few cases and it's like, it's because look, I've passed it. I've done like a 1-2, so they've gone on a run. So they've gone. Then I've sent the other person on a run. And then all the only option I have is to go back to my centre back who's marked by their two strikers, or I try and do a ball to one of my 4 or 5 players that are in a line going across the back, but I've got his CDMs in front of me. I've got nobody to pass to. And that's happening over and over again to me. Whereas if I don't do that and I'm like
Yeah,
slow build up, I was finding that I have more space because my players are coming for, coming to me and stuff. But it's really hard,
yeah,
I think, the AI side of things.
yeah. And there's a guy I know. He's a pro. He has been for quite few years. But I actually asked him the question that what do you find in terms of the AI, and he actually said, "I hate playing possession football. I'd rather do counter-attacking, attack with the ball, and get rid of it." But and you see a lot of the pros now. You'll see it in a lot of the competitions. They're forced to keep the ball. They're forced
Oh,
to keep
massively,
possession
massively, yeah.
because they can't. They have to then find a breakthrough. They have to do that skill move, do a certain move. Other than that, if they don't keep the ball, then it's just literally they're put themselves under massive pressure. So yeah, you can't. They're never going to take away the AI. The automatic thing would be say, well, you know what, everything's manual. That's it. But you couldn't do that. There's such a gap in ability. You couldn't do everything's manual.
No,
It would
definitely not.
it would ruin the game.
It would, yeah, it
So
wouldn't work. That wouldn't work because they would
yeah,
just be left. It'd be like a Sabutio pitch, wouldn't it? Everyone's standing still
oh yeah, it'd
except for
be
the player you're
massive.
flicking. Um,
Yeah,
no, it's interesting. We could talk all day about it, couldn't we? And
yeah, yeah.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Any new patches? I think the time for patches is going to stop soon because they do cut a point. I
Hmm.
can't remember when it was last year when they don't really update anything, and that's it. It's set because obviously they're focusing on. Well, you hope they're focusing on the next game, FIFA
New
21. I
game,
don't know
yeah.
if maybe we'll get 1 or 2 more patches. I don't know, but it
Hmm.
does come a point where they kind of stop the patches, and that's kind of where it's at. If anyone knows, let's like I can't remember exactly the date last year. Something tells me March, but I might be wrong with that.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Um, should we?
That's it.
Yeah, let's move on to a couple of questions from viewers. Do you want to kick off?
We actually had one from a female this week. Great to see females getting involved in the game. And it comes from an at LJ, where she said, "I panic every time I go 1-0 down in the weekend league, and I change my tactics and formation, but it hasn't helped. What should I do?" I'll let you go with that one first.
Okay. I think, and I've been experimenting with this a little bit. I think the first thing is just your composure. Just to make sure you,
Hmm.
I think always keep in your head, you're going to get a chance. If you play your game of FIFA, you will get a chance to score. So just wait for that
Hmm.
chance. Imagine it's still 0-0, especially, if you've gone 1-0 down, and if it's in the last minute, then obviously it's a little bit different. You need to kind of go full on attack. But if you've conceded, let's say in the first 30 minutes, you've got a long time to try and score, and you will get a chance. Like, you will get a chance to score. So you're better off not panicking, staying composed, keeping the ball. You may not even need to change tactics straight away. I think that if you concede a goal in 10 minutes and all of a sudden change your tactic, you don't really know how the game's playing at that point. So you don't know, if you had time to read what they're doing, what formation they're playing, because that goal could have just been a lucky goal, like, a breakthrough, where tactically your tactics you've got set are actually the right tactics to break them down. So I would, one thing I do is I pause it and I go into player ratings, and you can view what formation they're running. So then you can look at what you may do to counter that. You can also look at, are they defending narrow, wide? How can you attack the space? And I think that's how I would, that's how I would do it. The first thing is don't panic. You will get time, and then have a backup practice, especially in rivals. Practice with have a few different formations. Like for me, I start 4-4-2. If I go 1-0 down, I generally stay 4-4-2. I have a more attacking version of that where my wing backs will push forward and I put some pressure on. But generally, I'll stay that. But if then I get to like 60 minutes, I'll look to change it. And this is, I'm no pro or anything, but this is just how I've kind of what works for me. And then I normally try a 4-1-2-1-2 narrow if I want to kind of really press them and go narrow and exploit the space, especially if they're running something that has that space in the middle. Sometimes a 4-2-3-1, and then if I want to go all out, I'll go into a 3-5-2. But I think the main thing of all of this is not to panic, because as soon as you panic, you will concede another goal because you'll rush in thinking, I've got to get it, I've got to score. And every time you get a chance to score, you're going to be trying to take these chances, which are like, I don't know, 20-30% chances of scoring, or you're going to be trying to make a pass, which you really shouldn't be doing. Play it like it's 0-0. And when you get your chance, the right chance, take it. That's what I said. I don't know if you have anything to add. Or...
Yeah, no, you're spot on, 100%. And one thing to bear in mind, when you change that tactic, if you're comfortable playing a formation and playing the style you play, and you can see the goal, as soon as you change, you're changing to something you're actually unfamiliar with. So you're not necessarily going to play the same style of football the same way. And like Chuff said, you've got to analyse the goal you concede. Was it lucky? Did it come from a silly set piece? You're gonna almost trust in your game unless you get to maybe the 70th, 80th minute. You just want to throw the bus at it and just go for it. Well, then yeah, why not? But to go 1-0 down, I'd say even, what would you say, Chuff? First half, I wouldn't panic.
No, I wouldn't panic straight after that. I think till the 60th, and then I might change it, because against most players you're playing in the weekend league, you're gonna get a chance. You are going to get a chance to score. I can't tell you, have I ever had a game where I've not been able to score? Not had a chance. No, you will get a chance to score. So you just got to always remember that in your head. Pass it around, keep possession, work the ball. You will get a chance.
And in actual fact, and we've talked about this before, from a winning mentality, when you go sometimes in FIFA and you're 2-0 up, in your head, when the person gets one goal back, you think to yourself, I'm going to lose this. So, when that person's only 1-0 up, you even count it as that state is still level. Unless the person's 3-4 up, I think anything up until 2-0, you're good. You can still get back into the game again.
Easily. Oh, I mean, happened this weekend with me. Was it 3-0 down, I think, at half time? And I was in my, and people were like, why don't you just quit? And I'm like, no, because I know I can beat this person. The 3 goals have been absolute jokes of like just, and if I can get in, and I did, I came back and I won the game 4-3. And so I think that you've analysed, sometimes you'll face them, you'll be like, yeah, they are just absolutely phenomenal, and it's very tough. But just keep calm, look at the game, and you will get a chance. You will 100% get a chance.
Yeah, I would agree, 100%. 100%.
Okay, next question.
Avid listener.
I've got.
You want me to go for one?
You've got the. I don't know who asked this question. I'll pose a question to you, but you're gonna have to tell me who asked it. 'Cause I know you've got the name there. So this person is asking, I'm a Gold 3 player. Should I put in money? So should I put £100 into the game to try and move up to be an elite player? I'm not sure who asked that. Have you got the name there, Dryside?
At Wet Farm. Big fan of the show.
Big fan of the show. There you go, Dryside. Take it away.
No, And simple reason is putting money into the game. It's not. It's an easy option, but it's not the right option. It's not going to improve your game. It might. We all remember putting money into it doesn't. It doesn't guarantee you good players. It'll guarantee you lots of packs, which you could get anybody in. Even if you do get a good player, will it improve your team? Will it improve the style you play? Probably not. The only thing, and from experience over the years, that will improve your gameplay is playing the game. You know, you see some of the best teams you play against in weekend league, and Tuff, you'll probably reiterate this, but the teams that I fear in weekend league are teams that actually aren't that good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
not about putting the teams that I don't fear are teams that have 5 icons in their team. I don't really fear those teams unless it's somebody who is a pro. It's very rarely come across a pro unless you're a really high level. So for me, it's no, don't put £100 into the game. Don't put £50 into the game. If you want to put, if you can afford it, you want to do it and have fun, yes, but don't rely on it to get you from Gold 3 to Elite, because I can probably say 90% of the time it won't get you up there. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. It won't. Like unless you're a gold 3 player with a full bronze team, right? Then yes, I think getting a better team would help you get to elite. Like if you can get gold 3 with a full bronze team, having a better team would get you to elite. But if you're running a team that's like an average good team, that is not going to help you, because let's just say you put in, I don't know, let's say you put on 24,000 FIFA points, which is what, 160 quid. You're going to probably get back from that. I did see numbers of what the average return on 12,000 FIFA points, but I think roughly it's around 150,000 coins. So if you get back up, you get back 200 to 300,000 coins back. What's that going to buy you? Okay, you get not that much. So let's just say you add one new player to your team. That is not going to make the difference, because I think if you've got a normal team anyway, you've got a decent team, it doesn't make a difference. Like it really doesn't in the grand scheme. Like, yeah, you maybe like one weekend be like, oh, they scored the winning goal, so that means like, yeah, they were worth it. But just ain't gonna. It doesn't work like that. I think the team is 30%. The player is 70%.
100%, yeah.
Watching your games
At
back,
this stage-
figuring out where to improve. Like when you concede a goal, what are you doing? What do you do before that? When you lose the ball, why have they got so much space to run into it? What are you doing there? Or when you're attacked, when you're not scoring, what could you have done? Where could you have passed? Reviewing that will help you get to the next stage.
Yeah, 100%. And put it into context, looking at both our teams, both slightly different teams, but if you put into the monetary terms, Chuff, how much money do you think it would take for you to go to the next level?
What
And
money's
that's-
in? If I was to what coins, or in order, like say how much if I was going to put FIFA points on.
Yeah, if you're to put FIFA points on, how much do you think, on average, would it take you to actually take your team to the next level? I guarantee it's a lot.
I reckon for me to take well, it's a tough one, but like next player I would get would be like 1,000,000 coins. And do I think that this is a problem I've got when I'm deciding who to buy? 1,000,000 coins, I might look at getting myself Blanc defender 91 rated, like 1,000,000 coins, because that links up all my players and works for the squad. But I'm like, is he going to do that much more than Shoji for 1,000,000? Like honestly, I don't think. For me, my team right now, what I think would be the most game changing for me is like a team of the year Mbappe or a team of the year Ronaldo, and obviously they're like 5 to 7 mil. And even then, do I think that would mean I get Elite 3 every week? No, it wouldn't, because they don't. I don't think for me it doesn't matter that much. Like, yes, they're great, and yes, they score goals, but if you concede goals because you're not defending correctly, you're still going to concede those goals, and you're probably trying to overplay with the big player. I just think you just don't need to. You can like do a bit of trading, whatever your time allows you, to try and generate some coins, because that's a bit fun. That's good. It can be competitive and a bit of a laugh, but no, I don't think it will help you get elite.
Yeah.
Personally.
At the end of that question, if it was that easy, everybody would have very average gold players, and they would have a Ronaldo, a Messi, and Mbappe up front, and that's it. And that you never see a team rocking like that. Never happens.
Yeah, it is a tough one. YouTube videos are a really good way to try and take you on to the next level, because I find that I do when I'm playing badly, I do a lot of the basics very badly. I don't do the basics, and it's not, and that's the key thing. And I've had people who've asked me, how do you think improve? And I say, I want to watch this video with like the guide. I love the guide. They're on YouTube. They're really like to the point, tell you what you need to know, really useful. And they go through the basic stuff. And I've told a few people about that vid, and some are like, I don't need that. I need to add to skill. And I'm like, oh, what level, what are you? Like, you're a, elite one. No, I'm a gold 3 player. I'm like, okay, I'll tell you what, it's not skilling that's going to get you to gold 1. It's probably you messing around skilling is probably what's holding you back a bit. Like, just check your, you can see, and they were like, it turned out from talking to them a little bit more, they were conceding loads of goals. Like, go watch it. It will teach you how to like just hold possession better. And then when you're ready, you can start to skill more. But
And if all else fails, for $2,000, contact Coach Dryside. Very, very, very reasonable rates. How to keep the ball, switch the play.
Coach
maybe skill
Dryside.
moves.
Is Coach Dryside going to be there other weekend, the charity thing?
I think I have to be. I think it's
There might be a time when people like get Dryside on. I'll be falling apart.
people DMs going mad. Get on. Yeah, we need you. We need you. Chuff needs you. And it's for charity, so I'm gonna give up. I'm gonna do it for free. You know what? There'll be no money passed over our hands. It'll be free of charge. The coaching advice I'm gonna give this weekend.
I'll give you some really good
you've-
headliner trading tip, mate, if you want. I'll tell you the next one to pick up.
You've heard it live here. I'll probably buy more than you anyway.
Neymar. Actually, I'm profit up on headliner trading. I'm actually net in massive profit. That's a big.
Not ahead of me.
How many Neymars did you buy in headliners?
I must have bought about 6 or 7.
Yeah, come on.
How many did you buy?
Just the one, mate. Just the one.
Did you?
Profit,
I got-
profit.
No. I got mine.
But
I got mine
Watson.
too. I just can't wait. I just can't wait now for future stars this week to see who's got the biggest balls again.
Yeah, exactly.
I just love losing money to you.
But this isn't the live card. I think the next one where it comes to that will be the RTTF, which is another interesting thing. So the Champions League is back in about 3 weeks' time.
Oh, yeah, that's
And
right.
that will all start kicking off again. You'll see, I've already seen that the prices of the cards are starting to creep up because people are kind of investing in them. And that's another time where they're really volatile, those games, obviously, because you're not watching the player like we are with headliners for informs. You're watching, it's all about the teams. And that is, I think that's probably where it's going to be. I know I'm going to get a message from Drysdale. He'll get one from me being like, hey, mate, you've seen the price of this guy? I think they're going to win this one, And that's it. Balls will be going deep into that player. And it will probably hurt. Because I know what happened in the middle of a match. I won't be watching it. Drysdale will be like, shit, have you seen what happened? And I'll be like, no. And I'll be like, well, I sold mine 10 minutes ago, but this happened. And I'll be like, oh, you absolute.
I'll be saying something like, I've got a friend of a friend who's the head chef at Tottenham, and son's looking a bit ropey at lunch today. Just don't be buying his card, and I'll invest like balls deep in it.
He didn't have his normal lunch. He just he shied away from it, so he's off his food. Not sure if he's gonna have the stamina to make the whole game, and it's probably gonna impact them.
Oh, I
Excellent.
love live cards.
Yeah, they're good fun, but they are dangerous. Very
I love
dangerous.
losing coins.
Exactly. It's all part of it, isn't it? You make coins to lose coins. It's all fun because at the end of the
Good
day,
fun.
in 6 months' time, you won't care what your team looks like or how many coins or anything because we'll all be talking about FIFA 2021. 2021.
2021 is right, yeah.
But guys,
And on that note,
we're on that note. Thank you for listening. We'll be back next week at the same time.
regular
So
slot.
yeah, regular slot. So we'll hope to see you then. And yeah, that's it. We'll see you next week. And if you can drop by the charity stream, that'd be fantastic. Be good to see you there, just even for 10 seconds, just to say hello. And yeah, that's it for me.
Bye.
Cheers.